This is for the first time live after a long period of being hiatus. I'm very sorry that I didn't get to play or didn't continue Torment of Numenera. It is a YouTube series. It still is. It's still live. I want to continue this. I want to enjoy the story as much with you as possible, and this is it. This is the first live episode, so I won't be checking into chat at all, because I need to concentrate on what I'm doing, and I hardly remember what we've done before. I think we got Matkina, and there was something going on, so we need to check back where we were, so in case you came from the other episode and are watching this one. This is going to be a little recap now for a second. So let us check. Okay, so there we are. We are in Matkina's thing. Kadestige is the blurry thing here. There's a lot more to examine. Quite yes. Some interesting changes have been done. Here. Yeah. So what happened? I've learned the name of the Kastov who helped build the resonance chamber. It's called Mazov. So the resonance chamber was something that we found in an earlier episode, where that was the chamber that the god kind of, where I met several versions of myself, I think. He's called Mazov, a talented builder and artificer. I hope to find him in Mil Avest, a refuge of sorts for my Kastov siblings. Right, we are all Kastovs. We have been the god of whatever that never dies. Okay, here companions to be interesting. So here, stop the video at any point to check on the people. Algern, Kadestige is the one that I took with me, as well as Matkina. Kastov sister, right? She was a Kastov as well. Is an albino assassin feared across the Saga's protectorate. They call her the White Death. She is calculating jack of all trades with a huge intellect and enormous potential. Interesting. That is also a she's a brilliant nano, and I am a mystical jack who masters defense. Yeah, defense is kind of cool. I don't know why. So let's go. Select one of the following options to spend your experience points. You can select each option once per tier. Increase. Take an extra effort. Increasing your max effort will allow you to spend more effort when performing tasks. Yes, that's good. So one more tier. One more step towards the next tier. That was quite a lot of XP that I got here. And cunning nano with pierced realities. Like one of the... Oh, she gets that tier. Increasing your max effort level will allow you to spend more. Yes.
Our knowledge grows, sisters.
Alright, so she has two more abilities. Dimensional power, while phased, gain +2 damage. And esoteric knowledge, all other party members gain +5% lore on machinery tasks, mystical tasks, natural tasks. Okay, that's cool. Details. There's little that confounds Kadestige, not for long at least. Companions attempting lore-focused tasks will benefit from her extensive experience. Interesting. And the mystic dimensional power. Kadestige's sisters lend extra power to her attacks while she fluctuates between multiple realities. Nice. Oh yeah, and... Ooh. Huh? How do I see which ones I'm choosing? Never mind. So, entropic field on hit confers vulnerable. Armor reduction -2 per tier, resistance reduction -1 per tier. She's a novice, so it's 0% active 3 rounds defended by willpower. Okay, flash. Deals 8 physical damage to all enemies struck inside the radius. Even on a miss, deals 1 damage for each level of effort applied, plus 1 damage per effort applied. Mark 6. And as for gaining, gain plus 1 training level in lore, machinery skill, mystical skill, natural skill. That's kind of cool. And we're gonna take vulnerable can be quite good. That just does damage. Let's take vulnerability. Make people more vulnerable is cool. Okay. That's good. So her might, speed, intellect. She is a furtive jag. Furtive. But Kina is the kind of ally you want to at your side rather than watching your back. Oh. Who murders. Matkina is the deadliest assassin in the Protectorate and is known as such. Alright, fine. She has interesting things. Inventory. Can I give her quest items? So the quest items are somewhere else. Here are these ciphers. He has a cipher limit of 2. I have one of 4. Okay, she has light weapons. So does she have a weapon? Yes, she has one. A sonic blade. 4 plus 3 up to 12. So that's 3, that's 3. No. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, good. Anything else? She has a cloak. Distance, alright. There's a code of cast-offs, locations, creatures. Oh, the sorrow. Ugh. Oh, that is the thing that we probably need to beat. So that's what's following us. Stitcher and some other thing. Church of the Changing God, Order of Truth, Underbelly is the 9th world, that's it. The Beyond. The Beyond is quite cool. Real of the Fallen Words. Are we in the Beyond? I think we are. Bird, Crossroads, Spectre. Okay, so we have that.
Get what out of your face, dear?
All of it, all of you. I can't see a damn thing else.
And why would you want to? It's a joke. Put your daggers away, assassin.
Exactly. Let's interact. The hole in the corner is large, about 2 meters across. It was clearly carved, but not by human hands. It leads to a dark tunnel. You know that I was dug by a Stitcher, and it leads to the underbelly. No, I remain in the Cave of Last Words. Did I come up here? I don't remember. So let's examine stuff. Is there a key? Oh yeah. There's a key I can use. The client containers smell of cheap wine and spoiled food. A dirty wash basin sits atop a barrel of stagnant water. Loot. Cool. Take all. You need to choose one. Alright, that's a father teller, an oddity. This small polished disc looks like an handheld mirror, but anyone who looks into it sees an image of their father or their species equivalent. Interesting. Looking father teller, looking back at the mirror, when you hold it, though, all you see is your own face. Huh. Interesting. That's some weird oddity. A tunnel once led in this direction, but the ceiling has collapsed. Final words of countless men and women are scarred upon the soul wall. Some apologize to loved ones, while others rage against the injustice. Or a slight. A few left only their names. Alright.
Of course.
What if I go up there? Through the weather, the rungs of this letter are firm and strong. At the top of the letter you can see a closed hatch, and you can discern the levers that hold that hatch snugly closed. Let's go up. The indigo tide represents justice, compromise, and the greater good. It is the tide of people who view life's difficulties from a broad global perspective rather than an individual one. Cool. Let's turn the tides. Let's check the tides. I am... Domino tides blue and gold. The blue tide represents wisdom, reason, and enlightenment. People attuned to this tide seek information and the preservation of knowledge in all forms, whether scientific or spiritual. Scholars, teachers, and guides and the mystics are often attuned to this tide. The gold tide represents empathy, compassion, and sacrifice. People are attuned to this tide consider the needs of those they care about to be greater than any other consideration. Martyrs, philanthropists, avengers, and guardians are often attuned to this tide. So basically Tony Stark. Okay, where are we? That's her. Okay. Levy. Changing God cultist. Packed bundles and sealed urns line the area waiting to be taken into the ship or loaded onto the ship.
All right.
Okay, what do we do? What do we do? What's that? Folding screens provide the illusion of privacy to room occupants, if not the real thing. This spherical pod is made of a silvery metal interlaced with ribbons of energy. Silver Orphan. Silver Orphans. Two silver humanoid stand near a small vehicle of indeterminate origin. Sorry. Their skin has a reflective metallic sheen that makes them appear both a part of and separate from the scenery around them. As you approach, both of them turn to face you. They have no mouths, and their eyes are fathomless black, reflecting nothing. A name for these creatures rises from memory: Silver Orphans. It may not be the name by which they know themselves, but it's the name used by the Order of Truth. The Silver Orphans turn to stare at each other for several moments, then the one on the right gestures at you in a complicated pattern. Seeing your confusion, the one on the left kneels, using a foreshortened finger to trace lines and circles in the dust at your feet. Ripples radiate from a point, first a square, then a human eye, then an unrecognizable mass of interconnected dots. The Silver Orphan looks up at you, awaiting your reply. Okay, interesting. So we could try to interpret a drawing, copy the drawing in an attempt to communicate. Try to mimic gestures of the one on the right. I don't understand you. Another time. Try to interpret the drawing. Let's put failure. No matter what your efforts, the meaning of the drawing eludes you. The Silver Orphan seems neither discouraged nor cheered by your failure, though they continue to watch you even after you've given up. Let's copy the drawing. You can do that. Success! You trace the drawing, starting with the same series of symbols that the one on the left drew. It watches your hands more than your face, hat scanning your face smile as it appears in the dirt. At a critical moment, it reaches over and corrects a line you had drawn, and the image as a whole takes on a meaning far deeper than you had imagined. Okay, for the ones that don't know English, I have to jump quickly and find out what that means. Give me a second. My iPad would load, that would be not a problem. But but it doesn't for some reason. Okay. Now it does. FAC. Oh, that sort of reproduction. Uh-huh. Okay. It's some sort of reproduction of an image. Like the resolution of meaningless noise into the refrain of a beloved song, you suddenly know what it is the silver orphans seek. Machine intelligences, however or wherever they may be concealed. The orphans watch impassively as you reach this realization, then the one on the right holds out a hand in request for information. Tell the orphans about the foreman in the underbelly. You sketch an approximation of the city's manufactory, including rough depictions of the foremen, careful to indicate how they tower over the human workers. Then you draw a line connecting them to the orphan symbol for the machine intelligences. The silver orphans watch you intently until your drawing is complete. They turn to stare at each other. Then the one on the right reaches inside itself, its silver hand merging seamlessly with the glistening metal of its torso. An instant later, its hand is whole again, and holding an object of peculiar construction, it drops the item into your hand. Payment, you assume. I did get a third of my dynamic detonation. A nice cipher that deals 15 energy damage to all characters in range. Cool. Let's check it. Let's check it. Inventory. Where is it? Here? Yeah. Get it? Yeah, it's already in here. Oh. Okay. And my tide has changed. It's blue. Okay. Omado. Omadon, this robed man turns a golden bespectacled gaze and winning smile on you. He seems a charming enough sort, but it's clear he wants something from you and is perfectly willing to take it. Politely, and with the absolute ghoul, of course. Ghoul? How do you pronounce that? Ah, okay. It's List and Tucker. Arclist. At last, he says, someone who looks like they can see further than their nose. These Sanquisites are as observant as rocks. He clasps his hands together, pleading. Please tell me you've seen a beautiful girl with purple hair? Her name is Persia. She's my beloved, but she suffers from a madness that causes her to fear everything. She can't stop running around from imagined dangers, and I've been chasing her for, years now, trying to catch her and cure her before she hurts herself.
I'll remember that.
I recently tracked her here to Sagas Cliffs, but none of these blind fools can remember seeing her, even though I believe she stayed here for a time. He grips your arm. Let me give you a description so you will know her. She is heartbreakingly beautiful, and wears winged hair combs that float around her head, constantly changing the arrangement of her purple hair. Please, if you see her or hear a word of her, return and tell me. My name is Omadon. I can be most generous. What cost Persia to go mad? He frowns, thoughtful. It is, I believe, some trauma associated with her birth or early life. We found that it could be overcome with love and care and certain medications, but even then, some lapses occur. It was during the last of these that Persia vanished. I have been on her trail ever since. How do you hope to cure her madness? With love, mostly, but also with certain ancient techniques I've learned in my years of study for the cooling and untwisting of fevered and knotted minds. I'm positive that Once I'm able to isolate her from the corrupting distractions of the world, I will be able to restore her to her true self. How did you guys meet? We were at the same grave in the Valley of Dead Heroes, a mutual friend, and in sharing stories of our love for that friend, we found that we were kindred spirits and decided we did not want to part when we left the valley. He smiles wistfully. Odd that a place of death could give birth to something so beautiful and undying. Gonna give me more details of her appearance? As I said, she's hauntingly beautiful. And her speech may seem confused, so pay no mind to what she says. It's only her madness talking. Once she's returned to me, I will be able to cure her. What sort of things will she say when she's raving? Almost anything, but one of her more persistent delusions is that I'm her enemy. Nothing could be further from the truth. When she is in her right mind, she loves me as I love her. But when her madness is upon her, it is more painful than truth can say. Alright. Very well. Okay, we know that far. What about those merchants? What are you looking at? Don't mind my friend here. Being 10 minutes from home makes her grumpy. And, Kiki. Okay. Memoria Guard. What is you? A man in a Burgundian coat stands in front of the heavy wooden gate. His arms are crossed, his feet firmly planted. You got business with the Memovira? Momovara? Yes. I don't know you, friend. That means the Memovira don't know you either. And if she don't give the word, you don't pass the risk gate. You shy me? I'm looking for a tall, beautiful woman with purple hair.
Making a note.
Ain't we all? He snorts. That loves a conker keeps asking me about his girlfriend, and I keep telling him the same thing. I ain't seen no purple-haired ladies. Truth is, if she did pass through here, she probably stopped at the inn. So if you want to find Miss Purple Hair, that's where I'd start. Who's the Memovira? The boss lady of the Bloom. She's been in charge for about 10 years. Couldn't tell you what the title means, but there's always been a Memovira. Matkina. Out of the corner of her mouth, she mutters quietly to you. The Memovira he serves is hardly worth the water it takes to spit. A real shin-shaving grifter. The old one was the living avatar of the Bloom. What is the Bloom exactly? It's a monster, a stinking tumor in the size of a city, full of veins and cysts and sacs that folk can crawl around inside. Sometimes they lead to moths. His sunken eyes gleam as he speaks the word. If you give them what they want to eat, they'll send you to another world. Or not, if they decide to feed on you instead. Very well. Well, you're annoying as frick. You can go up there, okay. Young man, young woman, young... Shipping out to join the endless battle, which is lucky. Canadian? We couldn't find a captain who'd take us all the way to the endless battle. We'll have to walk part of the way. My friends here won't listen to reason. They'll never survive the endless battle. Endless battle? Tranquility. Airship captain. Advises near the head of this bed move to match the current time of day, shading the eyes of the occupancies.
I'm ready.
Oh, I can interact here. Beside the bed is a handsome, well-made night table with a single drawer. A large open book sits on the side of it. Try to open the drawer. The drawer appears to be locked, but you can hear something rattling around inside. The noise is faint but constant, as if the object were alive. Yeah, let's do this. You can pick anything. After a bit of effort, you hear a satisfying click and the drawer opens soundlessly.
Remember that.
Hair clip. A quest item. The small Menacum is actually a living jewel insect. Biomechanical marvel. The pincers seek to fasten themselves upon locks of hair, and its wings allow it to hover around the wearer's head, creating unique styles that would otherwise be impossible. Interesting. She stayed here. In fact, it is a jeweled insect, a biomechanical marvel that's very much alive. The pincers seek to fasten themselves upon locks of hair, and its wings allow it to hover around the wearer's head. Several strands of hair are still clutched in the comb's pincers. They are vibrant purple. Floating comb and a purple hair match Omadon's description of Persia. It seems likely that you stayed in this very room, and probably not long ago. The pages of the book are made of thick vellum, and it appears to be an atlas of the region. The book is open to a map that depicts the city of Saga's Cliffs, the Valley of Dead Horses nearby, a range of mountains to the north labeled as the Osafagan Range, and a circular desert farther to the east marked as the Lost Sea. A thin strip of fabric has been placed between the open pages. A second fabric strip marks another place in the book. Let's judge the age of the book. The book doesn't seem new. Its pages are worn from frequent use, but that's all you can discern. It might be anywhere from 10 to 50 years old. No dates are stamped on any of the pages. Look for the names of nearby settlements. Besides Saga's Cliffs, you only see a few other cities and towns. In the center of the circular desert are a large blue dot labeled the Oasis of Mrajolayas, and a smaller dot immediately next to it, Jerboa. On the far side of the desert is another city, Haref. On one end of the Valley of Dead Horses is a dot labeled the Necropolis. It's unclear whether this is a settlement or just a site of interest. Examine the page marked by the other fabric strip. You see another full page map, this time representing a region called Augur Kala. It seems to be located somewhere to the northeast of Saga's Cliffs, and it's definitely defined by a massive ring of mountains, labeled as the Clock of Kala. The mountain range is so perfectly round that it was almost certainly engineered by an artificial means in the distant past. Several cities and towns dot the landscape, but the largest and most prominent is named Sadar Imidu. After a few moments, you turn back to the map of Saga's Cliffs region. Examine the right table instead. The table is finely made and has a single drawer. Leave the end table alone. Okay, interesting. There's an explorer. Can I talk to that guy? Neither am I. Airship captain? Oh, there. Tranquility. A woman as tall as graceful as a willow steps forward to greet you. She bows, then looks down at you with warm, gold-flecked eyes. Welcome, she says, to Contility's Rest. I'm the proprietress, Tranquility. Are you looking for a place to take your ease? As she speaks, a sense of delicious calm comes over you, and you find yourself wanting to agree with her. There's nothing you like better right now than the pace of solitude of a quiet room. Perception. You begin to wonder if the sense of peace that surrounds Tranquility has something to do with the way she speaks. Her voice is low and rich, and she appears to be modulating it in some way. The technique is subtle, but the effect is profound, calming you and making you feel a little sleepy. Forgive me for asking, but are you human? She laughs melodiously. No need for apologies. Given my height, it is a natural question. I'm indeed human, a human mutant, and fortunate to live in Saga's Cliffs where that is not a crime. There are very few places in the world where someone like me would even be allowed to clean a hostel, let alone own one. Tell me about Tranquility's Rest. She smiles. It's the most peaceful inn in Saga's Cliffs, but the most beautiful views. All the rooms face outward, so that the bustle of the caravanserai is invisible and inaudible. All you see is sky and sea and the roofs of the city far below you. And all you hear is the breeze. I am the sole owner, and I have been offering solitude, security, and discretion for travelers for 20 years. You'll never have as sound a night's sleep as you will when you stay here. You're using your tone of voice to calm me. Is that something you learned? She raises her eyebrows. Very few people notice that. Well done. I am indeed manipulating my voice. When I opened this place, I wanted to make it the most relaxing hostel in the ninth world, and I worked to make every aspect of it soothing, even my voice. Sorry that I can't do that. She smiles mysteriously. Another talent of mine has been helpful as well. Could you use your calming abilities to put me into a trance? She looks bemused. No one has ever asked me something like this before. As interesting as a proposition as it is, I must refuse for fear of some complication or retaliation for the same. Persuasion. Please, I promise to hold you blameless if anything goes wrong. Aren't you curious to see what will happen? I'm afraid it's not possible. This is a place of safety and peace, and I can guarantee neither of those things if we try this. I'd like to... I found this here cube in one of... No, I'd like to play a place to sleep. I'm so pleased that I'm sure you'll be most comfortable. The price is 20 shins per person. $60 shins.
Good. I'm ready.
Wake up, a woman says, and you do. She stands, arms folded, watching you with a grim expression. There's been another murder in the underbelly, she says. A little mutant named Crooked Creek. Folsom wants words with you. She turns away. If I were you, I'd head down there now. What? What? Okay. That was an interesting episode. Let's save this. New save game. Bedtime Stories. Oh, Bedtime Stories Part 15. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you next time.